Sac Republic. Tomorrow, Heart Health Park, 7 p.m. is the season opener. You can catch that on Fox 40. Go online as well, sacrepublicfc.com. And let's take a look at this preseason with the man, the myth, the legend, Todd Dunivant. Todd, it's Dave, it's Jason. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Great. Doing good, Todd, and I'm gonna start the interview with what we like to call champagne problems. I'm a huge San Francisco 49ers fan, and all year the thought with the 49ers, fair or unfair, was that it's Super Bowl or bust, and that's a great problem to have because obviously that means you're a great squad, but it basically means if you do anything but win a championship, it's a disappointment. The Sac Republic kind of mirroring that a little bit. Preseason number ones, I believe, personally, should have won it all last year. It was a tough end of the season. So, Todd, as the guy in charge over there on the field, at least, do you feel those expectations? Do you agree with them? And do you like being in that spot?
Well, we want those expectations every single year because, like you said, that means you're doing something right. You're relevant. You matter, and you put something together that means something. And I think for us, we want those expectations. Year after year, that's our goal, to win a championship. And last year we won the Western Conference. The year before we made the magical Open Cup run. For us now, it's getting over that final hump and winning it all. So we want to, last year was probably our most consistent season we've ever had. And, we came up just short in the playoffs, but, now we returned almost everybody from that core of that roster. And, we feel like we've made ourselves a little bit better in the process.
Yeah. And so maybe how so? What do you think, Todd? How did you do that? Lessons learned from last year. You've kind of established this culture as a winning program. The club has got that consistency you've been looking for. What do you think the areas of improvement are that lead you to believe that you can end this thing with a championship?
Well, defensively, that's kind of our hallmark. We set records last year in terms of, being difficult to break down, goals against. We had the goalkeeper of the year. We had 2 all-league defenders. We had an MVP finalist in Russell Cicerone. So, across the board, all of those guys are going to be coming back, that's our starting point. So we're a difficult team to break down, but we feel like offensively, we've gotten better by adding, the League One Player of the Year, broke records, scoring goals, Trevor Amon, in Colorado last year. So we feel like we've gotten better on the offensive end and, want to continue to push that narrative.
Tell us about this kid you signed, though. Speaking of, you mentioned it last year, led the league down there in goals scored, and seems like you're adding fire to a fireplace with him.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think we think he's going to translate really well to our league. We've seen in preseason, he's very good with both feet. He just has a nose for the goal, and he stays in the channel. He doesn't get distracted and taken away from goal. He wants to score, and he's a guy that you want to get on the end of things. So, somebody like Jack Kerr, best in the league at serving balls. We think adding a player like Trevor is going to result in a lot of goals for us.
I've always felt like you guys have been well coached, well organized, just all the discipline you kind of need. Having Mark Briggs back again, what does that mean? That continuity and, again, chasing some of the goals you guys are going for.
Yeah, continuity is so important. I think it's sometimes elusive in pro sports. We've been fortunate to have a really, really good group now for 3 years running, kind of this core group of players. And, now going into the 3rd year of that group, we feel like we're even further ahead. We returned 17 guys from last season, added 2 young academy players. That's another, I think, theme you'll see this year is the youth that's going to really step up. We've got 4 teenagers on our roster. And we feel like they're going to be able to contribute and not just check a box. These guys, live, breathe, and are from Sacramento, and they play for their family and the crest. So that we think is a really cool advantage for us. We have such good talent in this region, and our youth academy turns out players all the time. But we feel like we've got a really, really good group of young guys that are going to be able to help us on the field this year.
Todd Dunivant, President and GM of the Sacramento Republic, joining us right now in Sactown Sports ahead of their open tomorrow, 7 p.m., Heart Health Park against Orange County to start the season. Now, full disclosure, when it comes to Todd and myself, you're talking about 2 people that work with Kevin Nagel, friend of the show, and me on the English side, you on the local side, Todd. But one thing I can add, colleague to colleague, or ask you, over in England, one of the big talking points truly is using Sac Republic as an example of a powerhouse club that competes year after year, that has those championship expectations that we expected, that we expect. That is the type of culture that he's trying to build over there, the culture that's there right now. You're also dealing with a guy, and I say this with love, that is going to let you know exactly what he thinks at any point in the season when it comes to what's going on the pitch. That being said, though, talk about the advantages, not just having an owner for a boss necessarily, but also having a fan as a boss who is that emotionally attached to the results on the pitch.
Yeah, Kevin loves this team. He loves the sport. He loves Huddersfield. I think we're lucky to have that synergy. And I think we're just starting to scratch the surface of how beneficial that's going to be for both clubs, really, because like you said, there's a lot of learnings that go across the pond both ways. And I think, we're engaging with Huddersfield on a bunch of different things and think that it's going to make both clubs better at the end of the day. And Kevin, ultimately, that's why he did it. It wasn't just because he wanted to buy another team. He thought there was a great advantage to doing it. He saw another opportunity to come in and really be the hero for a club that was otherwise in financial difficulties. And Kevin stepped in and did what he always does. He stepped up when others didn't. And I think that's who he is. And ultimately, I think for us, we're gonna benefit a lot from having that relationship with Huddersfield.
Todd, how about the USL in general? Dave mentioned it. You guys preseason, the nod is kind of the favorites at number one. That's always a great spot to be in. But the usual suspects there, like Phoenix and other teams, who are kind of the teams on your radar?
Yeah, the West is very deep. It was deep last year, and I think it'll be even deeper this season. Orange County will finish second. That's who we open up with tomorrow night, and they have given us trouble. We lost twice to them last year, so we feel like it's a great game for us to start off with. Being on the front foot at home, in front of a sold out crowd, it's going to be a great night. So I think Orange County, is our first thought. But yeah, you got the usual suspects. You got Phoenix, San Antonio, Colorado Springs. It's going to be a deep West again, and we play everyone in the whole league. So you've got Louisville, you've got Tampa. There's a lot of quality in our league, and it's only getting better.
Todd Dunivant joining us. Todd, I want to ask you what I think might be an impossible question, but maybe the answer is easier for you. This speaks to the growth of soccer in America. This would be a much easier answer, I think, over in Europe and several other places. But for you, as the guy in charge of the team on the pitch, if I told you could only have one, if you could only have either a league championship or a U.S. Open Cup championship, do you have a preference?
Wow, that is tough. I think for us, having silver at the end of the day is the most important thing. And, it's hard to be choosy. I think it's been, the Open Cup run that we had in 2022 was historical. I don't know, there's a chance that doesn't ever happen again. But the tournament's also changing. And we've seen recently that, MLS is only entering 8 teams of their 26 eligible teams. So that does change the nature of the tournament a little bit. It's going to mean that we enter in a later stage in the tournament, and really have five games to a championship. Now that's not easy. We'll likely have MLS opponents, but it does change it a little bit when that decision was made. So for us, I think winning the league title is most important. But winning an Open Cup, it's magical. It's special. I've done it. I've been fortunate to do it once in my career. It's been 19 years since that happened, and I wouldn't mind another one.
It ends up being such a long season. You guys go to late October, hopefully into November, and you're on the eve of the start of this. You've been around it a long time. Is there still nerves and kind of excitement on what's ahead?
Yeah, there is. I mean, this is my favorite time because you get, this in playoffs really, because it's been such a long off season. You do so much work behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we do this, for the experience, for that game night, for that special feeling that we all get and the excitement of playing the game. So, putting everything else aside, all the hard work we do, all the hard work the players have done in the off season, the work that our staff does to get the stadium ready, all those things. I think when you roll the ball out and start playing, that's when you can kind of relax a little bit on some level and just enjoy kind of the fruit of all that work.
Final question, and we're going to have Kevin on sometime over the next couple of weeks, and I know this is, speaking of unfair questions, this is probably more suited for him, but I'll ask you. You're involved. You're on top of the whole thing. We're getting texts, anytime we talk Republic, and this is such a good thing because the fans are so dang engaged about this, but we're getting texts and questions. Everybody wants to ask you and wants to ask about the stadium. Obviously, that is an ongoing thing. That's something, there's no secret that Kevin has been working his off to try to get done. It's been a frustrating road, whether it's going MLS, whether it's building a stadium. I know I hear, and you hear 1,000 times more than I do, the frustration from fans. One thing I think you and I can both put our hands on the Bible and raise the other and say is that it's a top priority for Kevin and for the club, and he is working hard. Any updates or anything you have to say going into the new season about where we're at with that stadium?
Yeah, it's difficult because you don't get to talk about it, but it's something we work on every day. And I know Kevin, this is priority number one for Kevin Nagel is finding, our new home and securing our new spot in the rail yards. That's what we're working on. That's what we firmly believe we're going to get done. So, we've been working with the mayor, with the, elected officials, all the things that you have to do behind the scenes to make this happen. It's a never ending list. But we're doing a ton of work on it. That's our biggest goal. It's the next step in the evolution of our club, and something our fans deserve, our team, our players deserve, and it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. Kevin Nagel has made this his top priority, and we're going to get it done.
That is Todd Dunivant, president, GM of your number one preseason ranked, hopefully number one postseason ranked Sacramento Republic. Opening tomorrow, Heart Health Park. Beautiful Saturday, 7 p.m. You can watch it on Fox 40, but get tickets and go. SacRepublicFC.com/tickets. I know we'll talk to you throughout the season, Todd, but good luck, and let's get 3 points tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Always good to chat with you.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Take care. That is Todd Dunivant. We'll take a break. When we come back, post-game reaction, Mike Brown, what did he have to say over that